Just 2 more minutes and then we'll get, grab some water if you don't have any. Make sure you're in a comfortable space. Your computer is not on you because we're going to want it to be beside you when we do the hypnosis.
Oh, sorry, Priya, I muted you there. There we go. Sorry about that.
No worries. Hi from Portland is coming up. So just get comfortable. Ryan, who is my co-facilitator, and I are so excited to be with all of you. And just till at 7:03, like I said, we have about 120 registered and we're at 57 who've joined now. So I'd like to give people just a couple of more minutes to join. And can you nod your head if you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, and can you guys hear the music in the background?
No.
No. Okay.
A little, yeah, I can't hear it either. It's a little low.
Okay, well, we are all learning Zoom.
I'm starting to hear it now.
All right, I will pause it until we get started. Okay, I just see someone trying to get on. Hold on 1 second. Ryan, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Does anyone remember the password?
Oh, the password. Let's see.
So Zoom did this new thing where they just added passwords yesterday, by the way, and didn't tell any of us. So if anyone had some trouble getting on, it's because Zoom is doing some, thank you, someone just posted it for me. Thank you so much, you guys. It's doing this new thing where it's requiring passwords, and it did not think about the fact that we might have events already scheduled before they made this change unilaterally. So I apologize if there's any confusion trying to get on. Awesome. So we're gonna get started. Everyone ready? Yeah? Okay, so first of all, I'm Priya, for those of you who don't know, and I, along with my co-host, Ryan, who's up in the corner over there, if you can see, maybe Ryan, you can say hi so they can see your face.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Very happy and grateful to have you all here.
Ryan is joining us from Canada, and I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. And before we get started, I really just want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you for joining us today. You're busy. Perhaps you're in a place where there's kids and dogs and people and spouses and partners. So I want to thank you for making the time and the space to be here today. And for stepping in and saying, you know what, I need support. I know my well-being is my priority. I know that perhaps this will help me. And so even stepping in and saying yes to being here is a step in the direction of our own healing during what are arguably some of the most unprecedented times in world history, but certainly in our lives. So I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. Ryan and I are both grateful. We want to acknowledge you for stepping in and saying yes to this experience and trusting the two of us to help facilitate it for you. You don't potentially know who we are. There's some of you on this call that you've come from all sorts of beautiful places. And so thank you for trusting us and allowing us to guide you. And you all look so beautiful. And you're here from all over the world. And so we're going to talk about where you guys are from in a minute. But I want to get started. And I have notes over here because I want to be sure that I'm really being mindful of my time and your time. And there's some real wisdom gems Ryan and I want to leave you with. So if you see me looking down, it's because I have these notes. And for those of you who don't know, I used to be a criminal defense lawyer. And so there's a part of my brain that's a very type A personality. And so I like it organized, and I want to make sure I give you all the tips and tools that we have for you. So how about we start with just 3 deep breaths? Yeah, I already see some of you exhaling. So just at your own pace, just 3 deep breaths, whatever feels right for you, just to get centered and grounded. You made it to this call. You're here. And this is the only place you have to be. Good. Good. Ryan and I want you to know that this call is going to be recorded and there's going to be an audio made. And so if you don't want to be on the recording, please feel free to put yourself on turning your camera off. You're already on mute, but if you don't want to be recorded, we're totally okay if you want to turn your camera off, but this will be recorded and this recording will be sent out to a lot of people. We'd love to see your beautiful faces, but I totally understand if you don't want to be on there. So I want to let you know that. And then I'm going to introduce myself and allow Ryan to introduce himself. We're going to get into the hypnosis. I see so many of you lying down like you're already ready. And I love it. But before we get into the hypnosis, which is still probably 15 or 20 minutes away, because Ryan and I have some background we want to tell you, but you can keep lying down. Believe me, it's all good. I want to introduce myself and let you know who I am. For those of you who don't know me, now I'm going to let Ryan do the same. So my name is Priya Lakhi, and I'm founder of a company called Awaken Ananda. Ananda is a Sanskrit term for your highest potential or ultimate bliss. For those of you that heard me earlier, I used to be a criminal defense lawyer. In fact, some of the people on here are people I used to work with for 15 years. And let me tell you, I knew a thing or two about anxiety during that time. And so this is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart. I used to call it stress. But now that I know more, it's really anxiety. And so we're going to talk about what that means. But now what basically happened is I switched from being a lawyer to a healer and a coach. And so both Ryan and I are trained hypnotherapists. We are neuro-linguistic programmer trainers. Neuro-linguistic programming is the study of the words that we use in our mind and how that impacts our behavior and our decisions. I'm also an energy healer and a spiritual coach, and I work with clients one-on-one and in groups, and I do classes and events. So I had a real big spiritual awakening that led me from lawyer to healer. So I just wanted to give you a little background of who I am and the credentialing behind why Ryan and I can do an event like this. And Ryan, do you want to introduce yourself?
I would love to. Thank you, Priya. Thank you very much. So hi, everyone. My name is Ryan Montes. As you've already heard, I'm coming to you live, of course, from just outside of Toronto, Canada, which is why we have the kind of unusual split of, a chunk of our participants tonight are from Ontario and a chunk are from Georgia. And then, of course, there's people from all over the rest of the world. So as Priya said, very grateful for all of you to be here, and I'm grateful to be here too. I myself am a master hypnotherapist and a trainer of hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming as well. And tonight's all about, really, it's all about you. It's not so much about Priya and I. It's all about bringing you guys some empowerment, bringing everyone here tools and hopefully enlightenment. And for those of you who need it, relief. And for those of you who are looking for it, a place of calm, a place of sanctuary where we can all be together and focus on how we want to be feeling during these very unusual times. So I'm just going to mention, that's my introduction. I'm just going to mention a couple of things about Zoom because I know more people now than ever are using Zoom, and a lot of people are very new to it. So how many people, just quick pop a hand up if this is your first or second time using Zoom? I'm scanning through the faces. Okay, I keep seeing a couple of hands. For most people, it's not. So if you, I see one big hand coming at me there. So if you're new to it, enjoy it. It's a really good free software for connecting with, people all around the world. So it's not just for online retreats and webinars like this. You can use it to connect with your loved ones around the world. If you want to let Priya or us know that you have a question or a comment, you can raise your hand there. There's a little raise hand button in one of the screens. There's also reactions. You can do thumbs up like that. Or if you're not able to find those, because Zoom's a little different, whether you're on iPad or iPhone or on a computer or what, there's also a little chat window. So if you have something to say, go ahead and throw like a CCC in there if you want to have a comment, or a QQQ if you want us to come around to you if you have a question. And then there's going to be a time towards the end of tonight where we're going to take questions and interact with you guys a little bit more. You have the freedom to turn your video on and off. So we encourage you to keep it on, because this is really, it's a conversation. Priya and I are looking at you guys that have your video on as much as you're looking at us. And we love to see you, and we love to see your reactions, particularly during the hypnosis and everything. And yeah, and that's it for Zoom, and super excited to be here. And I think we're going to have a really excellent night tonight. So thank you very much for being here. And back to you for now, Priya.
I feel like I'm a news reporter, like back to you in the field.
Back to you in Atlanta.
Back to me. So I just want to, again, there's about 69 of us now on this call. And so if you can go into gallery view if you feel like it was just on the top of your screen, and just take a look at the community that this epidemic has brought together. This is 100% in response to the times that we're in. And I think it's just a beautiful reminder of how connected we are and how technology can work. And I also want to remind all of you now, as you're maybe scrolling through the faces, to give each other a virtual hug. Just beam some love at a face, or beam some love at a name if you can't see a face, to allow the energy of connection to be how we start this call or this meeting. And then for each of you, make a commitment to yourself to leave whatever you brought into the room at the door. There's nothing else to do. There's nowhere else you have to be. This is the commitment you've made for yourself. And any worries, any anxieties, any stress, any sadness, any grief, any anger, or all of the above, if that's what you're experiencing, because we have a range of emotions a lot of us are going through, just leave them at the door, knowing that if you want to, you can pick them right back up when this call is over. But for now, you've made a commitment to yourself, and you're going to be here, and you're going to be present. And so that's the second request I have of you. And soothe yourself. If you feel like you want to put a little hand on your chest, if you want to rock back and forth, give yourself a little self-love before we get started. Thank you so much. I can feel all of you beaming, all of you excited to be in this community. So Ryan's going to start with the agenda, and then we'll go on to giving some background on what anxiety is, and then I promise you the really good, fun, hypnotic stuff is going to come. You're muted, Ryan.
Thank you, Priya. Yeah, so for the agenda tonight, just so you all have an idea of what we've got coming up. First thing we're going to talk about is what is anxiety and why is it relevant? Very important topic right now, because a lot of people who previously didn't have big trouble with anxiety maybe are feeling anxiety in a new way, or people who previously had some anxiety, now recent events are maybe stirring up a little more of it. So we're going to get into what is anxiety. We're going to talk about what is hypnosis. We're going to get into hypnosis tonight. We're going to talk about the power of the unconscious mind and how all emotion begins at an unconscious level, including anxiety, including happiness, including joy, and so on. We're going to lead you through actual hypnosis. We're going to do group hypnosis tonight, which I think is probably the reason most people are here. Okay, and this is I agree, is the part to be most excited about. Priya and I are both master hypnotherapists, and we're both going to be guiding you into hypnosis to make some deep and profound change and give you that relief and that calm that you're looking for. And then after that's all done, once we've cleared up, we've released that pressure, we've given you that relief with those hypnotic processes, Priya and I are going to give you additional tools that can help you as anxiety may come up again, you can alleviate it for yourself. You can reduce the odds of it even coming back in the first place, and so on. And then we're going to have some conversation with you. You have an opportunity at the end. You can speak with us if you have any questions, if you have questions about hypnosis or what we're doing or whatever. We want to talk, and we want to create that sense of connection amongst everyone in the group here. So before we get really going, I do want to talk to you about what is anxiety. What is anxiety? And I think most people have experienced it to some degree, particularly if you're here on this call, right? Really what it is, it's at its basis level, it's an emotional state. It's an emotion, just like any other emotion, happiness, sadness. It's very closely linked to fear. And the way that, it's sort of characterized is most people would describe it maybe as like an internal turmoil, often connected to recent events, or more so often connected to future events, things that haven't happened yet, things that may not happen, and it's totally possible to be aware at a logical level that there's nothing to fear, but at an emotional and unconscious level to still feel the symptoms of anxiety, which is actually, sometimes trickier to deal with than when there is a logical, reason to feel anxious or fearful, because then we can just take action to resolve it. Whereas, if it's something that's outside of our control, or we don't know why we're feeling this way, it can be, more tricky to actually go and resolve it. What's important to know that you may not be aware of about anxiety is that for a lot of people, it's really linked to rumination. Quickly, wave a hand at me if this is a new concept for you. Rumination. Yeah, I'm seeing a few hands. Rumination is one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is really connected to feelings of anxiety and depression. And all it means is we keep running the anxiety program at an unconscious level over and over. And, in some ways, the neurological pathways in our minds, they're just like, a muscle. The more we use them, the stronger they get. And so the more we ruminate, the more we, let those gears of anxiety turn, the more they come to run automatically, to the point that they might start running when there's no reason to, or we weren't expecting it or whatever. And the good news is bringing that into awareness is the first step to stopping it. Bringing into awareness that one of the things that really aggravates anxiety and, unhappy thoughts is that ruminating, that continuing to dwell, that, going over and over in our minds, these things that often are outside of our control. And, the additional good news is consciously you can, once you're aware of it, you can stop doing that. You can make a choice. The easiest thing is to focus on what you want. You've probably heard this before in different contexts. Focus on what you want. I don't know if you've heard it before, specifically in the context of dealing with anxiety, but it's very easy to fall into this trap, especially now, especially with the information that we're being bombarded by, to just keep thinking about the bad stuff or the things that are linked to these feelings of anxiety. And you have the power, you have the ability, all people do, to choose what you think about. And it really is, as simple as, in some cases, making that choice to, turn off the news for a certain amount of time each day, making that choice to be honest with yourself and say, okay, there's a situation that's totally outside of my control, and I can accept that. And I can continue with my life and do what I can do, because ruminating doesn't solve anything. And we're going to get more into this tonight, but I just want to get the wheels turning in your mind about the fact that you do have control over yourself. You do have control over your emotions. In the same way that, if you start thinking about a memory that makes you really happy, if you find yourself right now thinking about your most happy memory, automatically you're going to start to feel feelings of happiness in your body. You're going to, remember them, and you're going to feel them however that manifests for you now. Similarly, the same system works at the unconscious level with negative feelings. The more we think about it, the more we feel them. It is in many situations, not always, but often it is a choice. Very good. Yeah. And so that's essentially what we're going to be going through tonight. Again, while it is a choice and while there are things, bringing into awareness to get you moving, the bulk of the shift tonight is going to be the hypnosis, where you get to sit back and relax. And instead of you having to stop those gears, those anxiety gears turning, we're going to use the hypnotic processes to gently and lovingly grab a hold of those gears and seize them so that we can hand you back that choice to think about, feel about, continue on in whatever fashion you want to empower you in that way. Okay. And Priya?
Great. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Priya.
Really excellent.
Great.
I just want to follow up on that from an energetic perspective, right? And what does that mean? So anxiety, and this is the topic of today's conversation, for some of us, anxiety has been a part of our lives for years, right? It's something that we carry with us. And then for others of us, because of the pandemic that we're in, anxiety has arisen maybe for the first time. And so I want to do a little education on what it is. So if it's something new to you, you can identify it, right? And especially now, right? Anxiety is rising because there's unpredictability. We feel like we have no control. We feel like there's people that we love that we don't know what's happening, or even ourselves. We don't know how much safety we have. And I don't want to plant these states in you, but I want to acknowledge that whatever you're feeling during this time is okay. There's no right or wrong way to understand the pandemic or epidemic. For many of us, our state is we're trying to go from panic to peace. And what Ryan and I are suggesting, that perhaps with the shelter outside, what this 1 hour call with us can do is help you establish a shelter inside of yourself. And the first step to do that is just awareness of what it is that I'm feeling, right? And emotion is energy in motion. It is meant to be felt. That's why it's called a feeling. We're supposed to feel it. The more we resist it, the more it will persist within us. And so one of the first things I just want to talk about is that how that shows up in our body physically, right? So it might show up through shortness of breath. It might show up through heart pain or hurt. I've had some clients this week tell me that. I've had some clients tell me that they're having tense jaw. Many clients are experiencing sleep issues. And just a feeling of pain or heat in the body. So those are all the ways that our body might show up when we're in an anxious state. So I want to just give you a little parameters of what to think about. And so why this becomes a problem is because what that means is that our worry switch has now constantly been turned on. Whereas before we were able to worry about things and we would move on, we would worry and then we would move on, we would find solutions. But when our worry switch is constantly switched to on, then we have something that's identifiable as anxiety. And so when it shows up in the body, it's a real poke, right? When emotions arise, it means they're telling us, hey, pay attention. Whatever you're feeling now requires your attention. So every time I feel an emotion, I actually say to myself, oh, thank you. Let me now explore what this is. I may not like it. I may not understand it. But if I don't explore it, then what I do know it's going to happen is that it's going to get stronger and stronger and stronger until I do. So anxiety is also known as fear of failure in the future. So when we're in an anxious state, we're considering future stuff and whether we're going to be successful or not. Whereas sadness, right, just to give you a counterpoint, sadness is failure that happened in the past, perhaps, or grief that happened in the past. Both are ways in which our body is in some sort of fear of failure. And so we really can't go forward when we're in that elevated emotion. When we're in the elevated emotion of anxiety, then we go into something called our beta brain. And in our beta brain, we can actually make no decisions to safety, to clarity, to peace, right? Because in that elevated state of emotion, our brain is just trying to keep us safe. And so instead we go into fight, flight, freeze. So again, part of the learning here is that when you encounter an emotion, the primary job that we have, as Ryan's talking about, the choice that we have is to allow that emotion to go through us. And science actually says something. Science says that an emotion can pass through us in 90 seconds if we don't resist it, if we simply observe it and allow it to go through. And if it doesn't pass in 90 seconds, then there's some tools we can use. But the first step always in any emotion that perhaps we don't like is to allow it to happen for 90 seconds. And so I always think of emotions as kids in a classroom, and this is helpful for me, so I want to see if it's helpful for you. I have various kids in my classroom of my mind, but only one kid can ever stand in the front of the classroom, right? You guys remember that in school. Only one kid gets the classroom floor. So if anxiety is the kid in front of the classroom, then my job is to figure out, how do I make peace the kid in the front of the classroom? How do I make joy the kid in the front of the classroom? In the classroom of my mind, which has every possible student, if my brain can only process one emotion at a time, then what do I need to do to change my beliefs, to change my body, or to change my mind to allow the kid in the classroom to be more of the emotion that I want versus the emotion that I don't want? And so I like to use that example of kids in a classroom. It makes sense to me, and it allows us to play. And when we're in play mode, we get to be more creative. So that was all of the background that I have. And we have some questions here, but we'll get to those at the end. And so now what Ryan and I want to do is give a little background on what hypnosis is for those of you that don't know or haven't experienced it. And then we're going to dive right in to the, for both Ryan and I think have been life-changing experiences for us when we've both either been in hypnosis or helped guided someone through in hypnosis. So I'm really excited to do those techniques with you guys. So I think Ryan's going to go into what is hypnosis.
Yes, that's right. So hypnosis is pretty exciting for most people, especially if it's their first time. And so I just want to talk about what hypnosis is not before I get into precisely what hypnosis is. So don't expect, maybe what you've seen in the movies or on TV. This is not a stage hypnosis entertainment show. This is hypnotherapy, really. So it's a very relaxing state, a very calm state, and it's not sleep. That's one of the big misconceptions. It's not unconsciousness or anything like that. During this process, don't expect to feel this hypnosis. Do expect to feel very relaxed. Do expect to be able to hear everything that Priya and I are saying, okay? And do expect to have some recollection of, the process when you come out of it. It's not as if I'm going to snap my fingers and then in 20 minutes your eyes will pop open and you'll feel totally wonderful. I think you'll feel totally wonderful, but you'll still remember everything that's happened. Now, where some of you I know are thinking, well, I've had a different experience where I've gone much deeper in hypnosis, and that's totally possible because different people react different ways. And what's important to know is that during this process, you'll go only as deep into the hypnotic trance state as you are comfortable going. No matter how deep you go, you're still going to get the benefit. You can be in a light trance, a medium trance, or a deep trance and still get the full benefit. But some people, particularly people who meditate often or who have worked with hypnotists before, tend to trust the process a little bit more off the bat, feel more comfortable, relax more, and then, just drift along as it happens. So again, it's not what you've seen in the movies and TVs. It is very relaxing. You will be in full control. It's very important that you understand when we're working with the unconscious mind, it's automatically protecting you based on what your own personal values and ethics are. So some of the nervousness that people in the past may have had about hypnosis is that, they think somebody else will be in control of them, and that's certainly not the case. It's hypnosis is the ultimate form of self-control. The client, the person receiving the change, is the one who's in total control. If something is said that your unconscious mind doesn't approve of, it just bounces it out. If something is said that your unconscious mind feels is empowering, it graciously and gratefully accepts it. Okay? Does anybody have any questions specifically about hypnosis just before we start? Go ahead and put a QQQ in the chat box, if that's the case. No. So go ahead and relax. Make sure you're in a comfortable position. I'm going to make a suggestion right now that you are going to stay safely in whatever piece of furniture that you're in right now during this entire process, okay? And allow that suggestion to just sink in at a very deep level. I see a couple of people taking a sip of water, and that tells me that you've got some experience doing this because people tend to feel thirsty coming out of hypnosis. So if you have water, take a sip now. And on that note, please really just relax, enjoy yourself. And the purpose of this hypnotic induction, as I mentioned, is to give you that freedom, to give you that calm, to give you that relief. And all together, we're going to go to that place of sanctuary. Okay, we're going to take a break from everything. We're going to be free of everything for the next little while. Okay, Priya?
Thank you, Ryan. Remember that whatever you experience is going to be exactly right for you. You might pay attention to the words Ryan and I say, or you might totally zone out. There's absolutely no right or wrong way to do this. And we know that at the end of our time together, you'll feel refreshed and rejuvenated. And so now, as you get comfortable, I'm going to play a little bit of music to get us started. Good. Take 3 deep breaths. Good. Good. Take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, allow your eyes to close only as quickly as you're ready to make the changes that you want right now. That's right. Now I'd like you just for a moment to focus on the tiny muscles around your eyes and allow those muscles to begin to relax. Allow those muscles to relax completely. Imagine that every word that I say is relaxing those muscles automatically. Imagine that you're having your temples gently massaged and your eyes are relaxing so completely that they just won't work. And imagine that's happening automatically. Every word that I say relaxes those muscles completely now. That's right. Every word that I say relaxes those muscles completely now. Imagine your eyes are so relaxed that they just won't work. Imagine that has happened and there's nothing you can do about it now. When you realize your eyes are so relaxed that they just won't work. You can test them and find they're completely locked down now just for a while. Because you easily and effortlessly know that you can go into relaxation now. Nothing bothers you or affects you. Nothing disturbs you. All that matters is you, the sound of my voice, and the feeling of freedom. That's right. Now you let that relaxation go right down through your body, every muscle and every fiber relaxing completely now. Because with your eyes closed, you can continue to relax. Although at times you may be aware of something more than you were before, the sound of my voice, the comfort of the chair, whatever it is, all that you know is that you are really relaxed. And for right now, imagine the faces of the people that you love. Imagine the faces of the people that you love. Imagine the faces of the people that you love. And imagine the faces of the people that love you. The people that love you. The people that love you. And as you feel that love, every negative limiting decision that you or anyone else has ever placed on you disappears. And you feel that love deeper, deeper into hypnosis. The deeper you drift, deeper, deeper down now. And the deeper you go, the better you feel. And the deeper you go, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you go. And the better you feel, the deeper you go. Every word that I say now takes you deeper and deeper and deeper. You are so relaxed and comfortable that you can imagine or visualize yourself walking in your favorite place. Maybe you can experience or sense the ground beneath your feet with every step you take. And this is such a great place to walk and just be. And perhaps after a while, you come across a very inviting looking chair that almost seems to call your name as you approach it. Good. So you sit down, and this is the perfect place to rest and enjoy your surroundings and really feel the complete relaxation and comfort. And you realize that this is your most favorite place in the whole world. And having come to that realization, a total sense of relaxation starts to surround your whole body, starting at the top of your head. You feel the deep relaxation begin to move down. It moves down the sides and back of your head. All of those muscles are letting go now. And the relaxation goes down your forehead into your eyes. And your forehead and eyes are relaxing too and letting go. Deeper and deeper, you are letting go. Good. That's right. And your cheeks and your jaw muscles are relaxing deeper and deeper. And your ears and all around to the back of your head and down to the top of your spine. All of the muscles are letting go, and it feels so good. And the wonderful feeling continues to release and relax all the muscles of your neck and shoulders and upper back. Good. And as you just relax deeper and deeper, you feel yourself sinking down, relaxing deeper, even deeper down. Relaxation is flowing down your arms and out your fingertips. You experience total relaxation now. And as your chest is relaxing, allowing all the muscles in your stomach and abdomen to release any tension. You are just letting go and relaxing more and more as you feel your whole body completely enjoying these wonderful sensations of peace and serenity. Move your awareness now to your hips and buttocks and lower back. Good. And feel this deep relaxation. Feel those muscles just releasing and letting go as you breathe easily. And as the sound of my voice allows you to relax, your body is just relaxing deeper and deeper, more and more. You feel so good and comfortable and relaxed. The relaxation flows down your legs, down your thighs, down to your knees and your calf muscles. They are all letting go into deep relaxation. And your ankles relax, and your feet are just totally relaxed and comfortable. And this deep relaxation surrounds your whole body now. And you feel more relaxed than you can ever remember feeling before. And as your eyes remain closed and you sit on your beautiful, comfortable chair, you decide now that you want to imagine that you're walking towards a beautiful building. A building that seems to be inviting you into a magnificent lobby. And as you walk with such ease and effortlessness towards that building, you enter this amazing structure where you feel safe and secure and comfortable. Good. Once inside that beautiful, magnificent lobby, you walk toward the elevator and push the down arrow. And the elevator doors open and invite you into a luxurious elevator car, which is warm and safe and comfortable. That's right. Good. And you enter feeling as though you belong in this building, in this elevator. And when you push the button for B10, B10, the door closes and the elevator begins to move smoothly and safely down. And the numbers above the door change as the elevator moves down deeply. The elevator is taking you down this beautiful building. And as the numbers go down, so you go deeper and deeper into a relaxed state. And you count the numbers as you relax more and more. And allow yourself to go into hypnosis as you watch those numbers go down. Good. B1 going down, deeper down. B2, continue to feel more and more relaxed. B3, you somehow know when you reach the bottom you will be deeply hypnotized. B4, you watch the numbers as the elevator passes each floor. B5, going down, you are going down even deeper. B6, feeling more and more relaxed as the elevator goes deeper down. B7, you watch the numbers continue to count down. B8, when you reach the bottom floor, you will be in hypnosis. Good. B9, you're almost there, feeling more relaxed than you have ever felt before. B10, you are now deep in hypnosis, and you feel safe and secure as the elevator door opens. And you see that you're in a very comfortable lounge with beautiful furniture that is inviting you into the room. So you walk into the large, amazing room with the most comfortable furniture you have ever seen. And you look around and see a long wall of switches. And you walk toward this wall, and you see that all the switches have headings. And these headings relate to every aspect of your life. And then you realize that this structure is really you. And as you go deeper and deeper down into hypnosis, you know that exactly the right result for you will come at the end of our session today. Because this structure is really you, and you are here. And so as you imagine the faces of the people that you love again, and the people that love you, know that you are safe and protected. And now you'll hear another voice. And as that voice continues to guide you into this beautiful, healing, hypnotic trance, you easily and effortlessly allow that guide, that voice to guide you.
Now, in a moment, I'll begin to count down from 10. And with each number, down your body will relax completely. And at the same time, as I count down from 10, I'll be counting up from 1. And with each number up, your mind will become stronger, clearer, more focused on what you want to achieve. 10, your body relaxing, every nerve, every muscle relaxing with every word I say. 1, the mind is stronger, more focused on what you want, how you want to feel, how you want to be. 9, feel yourself relaxing more and more now. Nothing bothers you. Nothing affects you. 2, every negative thought swept from your mind. 8, your body becoming completely anesthetized, as if you've had a general anesthesia. 3, every limiting belief swept from your mind. 7, dropping down toward a place of peace, total relaxation, as every word I say, every breath you take, doubles that wonderful feeling. 4, the mind begins to separate from the body now. 6, going deeper, deeper down, dropping down into a state of absolute peace, floating. Now imagine there's nothing you can do about it. The deeper you go, the better you feel. 5, your mind separates from your body and drifts away, way, way up, away from the body. Drift out into the future and see yourself achieving the things you want to achieve and doing it fearlessly. Step into your body and feel what you have feeled. Feel yourself achieving those goals. Look back to now. Notice all the things you did to achieve those goals, all the ways you felt because you wanted to feel those ways. The mind drifts without boundaries, without borders. Just for now, nobody wants anything. Nobody needs anything. The body drifts through time and space. Yes, that's right. And now as I continue to count down, every number will double that feeling of relaxation. 4, going deeper and deeper. 3, dropping down further and further. 2, deeper and deeper down. 1, letting go of all physical awareness now. 0. Now you're in that place of total relaxation, total peace, where you have access to all your inner strength, all your inner abilities, all those secret resources that you're now realizing are there, and go deeper and deeper down into this beautiful hypnotic trance as I continue to count up from 5, 6. Every negative thought that was ever placed on you is gone from your mind. 7. Every limiting belief that you or anyone else has placed on you is gone from your mind. You cannot experience or feel those things anymore. The harder you try to remember the negative feelings, the further away they drift. See the faces of the people you love, the people that love you, and let that remind you now of your real worth, your real value, just how loved you are. And now that love, like a burning hot sun in the summer sky, feel that heat, that light from that love. And now allow it, make it shrink down to a white hot ball of light, just the size of a golf ball, and pull it into the very core of your being. Feel the light of that love spreading into every cell of your body now, flowing, flooding your mind with the most incredible feeling of empowerment and love. Fearless, free, flowing. Feel that light of that love pushing the black cloud of doubt, anxiety, any other uncertainty, pushing it up. It's been in your chest, and now it's being pushed up through your body, going up through the throat, feeling it moving under the force of that incredible love and light. And feel it just below your skull now. And in a moment, as I click my fingers, it'll be forced through the top of your head, never to affect you again. So get ready, be brave. Now, watch that horrible black cloud just drifting away from you, drifting higher and higher, further and further. Watch it as it drifts into space and gets sucked into a black hole, never ever to affect you again. And from today, no matter how hard you try, you'll never be able to experience those old, awful feelings again. The harder you try to even remember what they were like, the further away they are. And a moment of clarity, where everything becomes clear, where almost anything becomes achievable. 9, really feeling this process. 10, this moment of enlightenment, a true understanding of your real worth, your real value as a person, as a human being, and just how loved you are. And in a moment, I'm going to count up from 1 to 10. And at number 10, you'll become back in the room, fully awake and fully aware. And before that, realizing that all those things that may have caused any kind of anxiety or fear before, totally dissolving now. Your unconscious mind identifying new ways of feeling good, 5 new ways, 10 new ways, 100 new ways, new resources now open and accessible to you, new ideas, new ways of thinking, more empowering than ever before. Realizing all those things and coming back only as quickly as those new ideas and resources really bring themselves forward and present themselves to you. Number 1, locking these suggestions in at a deep molecular DNA level. Number 2, feeling better than you felt before. Number 3, a sense of certainty, a sense of calm. Number 4, amazing, wonderful, powerful, incredible. 5, seeing yourself from across the room that you're in now, seeing your face and feeling that love that you feel for yourself and recognizing, yes, yes. 6, floating back towards your body, feeling incredible, seeing the energy, seeing the colors around you. 7, better and better, a deep breath, a beat of the heart. 8, remembering what it's all about, the why, the good why. 9, floating back into your body. And that feels incredible. And coming back into the present moment, back into awareness. And 10, fully awake and fully aware, your eyes opening now, coming back into awareness, back into the room, back into here. And maybe with a nice sigh after a deep breath, realizing that's a really great feeling, and you can revisit it anytime you want to. Coming back into the room for now.
Good. Good. We'll give you guys a few minutes to get readjusted. You all were fantastic. So many of you went so deep. It was beautiful to watch. Ryan and I would love some feedback. If anyone would like to share with us what that was like, what you experienced, we'd love feedback, and we'd love for you to share that with the other members on this call. So either raise your hand or put a little chat box downstairs so we know how to call you.
Yeah, so Jason wrote in the chat there, I needed that. Thank you, Jason.
I think that's D, using Jason's account.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
D, would you like to share about your experience with us?
She said the voices spoke right to her.
Good.
Rocky says it felt great. Fiona says, "Oh my, that was wonderful." And then the person who's using Jason's account says, "Yep." Oh, Iris has a comment. So give me 1 second, and I'll unmute you, Iris. Okay, Iris, you're unmuted. Love to hear from you.
I felt so calm. I felt like I was floating away. There was a point where I had a really heightened sense of smell, a very sweet smell. The black box was great. I just saw it go totally away, which was wonderful. So I really needed this. So thank you, Priya. Thank you, Ryan.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
So excited to hear that. Andy says, I'm going to keep picturing that black cloud far, far away. Awesome.
Yes, and Andy, the more you picture it, the further it goes. And you can try to, keep it in your conscious awareness. And the more you try, the further it drifts away until you find that you're just not even able to see it anymore at all. You'll find that. And Benita says, I actually felt that I left this space and went to a beautiful place. Beautiful.
And that is the power of the unconscious mind. It bridges, as Ryan would say, the conscious mind and the unconscious. It's in that beautiful place is where all of our healing, all of our happiness, all of our resources, everything we need to be happy and healthy in life resides. And so when you go back to that beautiful place, you can always access those resources.
Always. Zanny says, extremely empowering. So many nice comments. Thank you, everyone. Loria, this is my first time. I feel great.
Yes, I love first timers.
I loved it. Flanagan, I love the feeling of leaving my body. Yeah, it's a really special kind of trance when we do that. Yeah. Honestly, a beautiful gift. Okay, so thank you, Gina, Raki, Iris.
Yeah, with the click of your fingers, I saw the black cloud drift away. So now, right, you guys remember that click of the fingers that Ryan did is now forever an anchor in your unconscious mind. So what does that mean? That means anytime you are in a state that you don't want to be in, or is not ideal for you. And by the way, I don't know if anyone hears the yelling outside of my apartment at 8 o'clock in Atlanta every night. Everyone comes out to their patio and their balconies and yells and cheers for the first responders. So if anyone hears that, that's what's going on out there. And it's a beautiful community event. But that click of the fingers, right, is an anchor now. So anytime you want to come back to this space, you want to come back to having that black cloud drift away, try to click your fingers, relax, and see where your mind and body takes you.
Yeah, that's right. We've now got more comments in the chat box than we have time to read out. And I'm saving them all so that I can, read them continuously from now on. But thank you everyone for your overwhelmingly positive remarks. And Priya and I are delighted and honored that, you all seem to really, really enjoy this hypnotic process. Thank you for sharing this time with us. And we're not quite done for the evening yet, right, Priya?
No, because here's what we wanted to do. Here's the intention of how Ryan and I worked this. And we did. We really thought about how we can make this most impactful for the folks on this call. We wanted to put you in a beautiful hypnotic state, which we just did. We want to eliminate any roadblocks that might have prevented you from not accessing this space. And now we want to input even more suggestions with your conscious mind and unconscious mind in rapport, in relationship, which is what's happened now. Essentially, we have this thing called a critical faculty, and I just want to talk about it for 1 second. And what that is, it separates our conscious mind from our unconscious mind. And the critical faculty for most of us is like a brick wall. However, what we really want it to be is like lace. We want to be able to access these resources, right? Not just in hypnosis, but in our day-to-day consciousness, right? Everyone, does that make sense to folks? The same space that you went into hypnosis, how wonderful would it be if we could access that in the midst of our heightened emotional state? So now that we've opened that critical faculty, we've made it even 2 or 3 or 4 bricks less. Ryan and I want to give you a few tips to what you can do in the moment to get back to this state when you're feeling anxious, sad, angry, worried, whatever the emotion is that you are not particularly happy being in. So the first and the number 1 most important tip is your breath. And here's the only thing for you to remember. If you double your exhale after you inhale, it automatically puts your body into a safe space and your mind calms down. So what does that mean? Let's say you take a 2 count inhale, make sure your exhale is 4 counts. 2 count inhale, exhale 4 counts. It's a super easy, super quick way to just bring yourself back to where your body and mind feel safe if you enter anxiety. Number 2, count backwards. Ryan and I, if you noticed during hypnosis, did a lot of counting. There's a reason for that. If you count backwards from 10 to 1, it increases the serotonin in your mind. Serotonin is the happy chemical. It relaxes your mind. So literally just by counting backwards from 10 to 1, you're already increasing the chemical in your mind that allows us to feel a different elevated emotion. And that's one of a higher frequency, which is more joyful. So breath and mind. How cool is that about counting down and increasing serotonin? I know it's so cool. The mind is so fucking cool. Can I say that?
No, you can't say that.
So much that I want to teach you all about it because it is literally the key to our evolution and the key to our ability to have everything we've ever wanted is understanding how the mind and the spirit and our heart all work together. That was my soapbox. So here's 2 more tips for y'all. I want everyone to try this now. This is what you do when you have done 90 seconds, like I said in the beginning, right? Allowing the emotion to go through you for 90 seconds, and let's say it hasn't disappeared. Here's a really cool trick. Wherever you sit up, you put your chin up, you smile, and you put your hands out for 30 seconds. Try it with me now, I promise. And just smile and keep your chin up and your eyes up. And as you do this, let me tell you what's happening as we're doing this. We all think that our thoughts impact our body, and that's true, but here's what's also true. Our body can impact our thoughts. Okay, put your hands down. I think that was 30 seconds. Making that movement with our body, smiling and looking up, neurologically, automatically makes us feel happier. This is a proven technique. I swear I didn't make it up. This is real shit. like real. So try that anytime when you've let the emotion go through you for 90 seconds and it hasn't disappeared. Look up, smile, hands out, 30 seconds. That's it. Cool. And let me just make sure there's nothing else here. Oh, two more things I want to tell you. The study just showed that those of us who turn on the news first thing in the morning and last thing before we go to bed to just get an update, because sometimes we feel safer, we feel more in control if we are watching the news. 55% of our resources go out the window when we do that. So what does that mean? That means because we're in such a heightened, elevated emotion as a collective consciousness at the moment, the news is feeding us more fear, more worry. And here's what happens when we watch it. Our unconscious mind, which is constantly just trying to help us and protect us, then says, oh, let me remind her about all the other times she's been afraid, so she knows she'll get through it. Let me just remind her all the other times she's been worried. Our unconscious mind just constantly then searches for experiences to share with us to relate to what we're watching. If I can give you even one piece of advice that is so powerful, be empowered, listen to what you need to listen to, be very mindful of how much of that you're consuming. It's doing the exact opposite. It's implanting more panic, more anxiety than not watching. And by 55%, y'all, that means half of our capacity for resources are gone if we turn that news on first in the morning or late at night, or we watch it multiple times a day. And because you guys are all here, I also want to tell you it's okay to reach out for help. It's okay to ask for resources if you don't know what to do. Ryan and I are always available. You have to shoot us an email, shoot us a text. We're here to help you and guide you through this. And I mean that in all sincerity and all seriousness. We are very passionate about what we're doing. And we love each and every one of you. And I'm not going to cry. Okay, Ryan, go.
Thanks, Priya. A couple more. Again, I don't have time to read them all, but Noah said, move a muscle, change a thought. Very nice advice. Thank you. And Simran said, it was a most wonderful experience. Thanks for sharing. Wonderful. Priya mentioned something important, about, what you expose yourself to early in the morning or late at night. And I agree with her fully. When we're just waking up or we're winding down for sleep, we're in what's called a hypnagogic state, where our critical faculty, the barrier between our conscious mind and our powerful unconscious mind, is softened at that point. So anything we hear penetrates to the unconscious level more so than it would in the middle of the day when our critical faculty defenses are up and our cognitive abilities are at 100%. So the science really does support what Priya is saying here. And she also talked about how exposing yourself to certain information can fire off other neurology in your mind. And I want to speak to that for a second because it's very important. This is called the law of association. Okay. We all love these laws, right? But the law of association means what sensory input you get will trigger memories and experiences at the unconscious level. So the more sensory input of a negative flavor you get, the more unconscious processes that are being triggered that remind you of old experiences of similar emotional states. The more positive external stimulus you have, the more positive unconscious processes are being fired and strengthened and slowly bubbling to the surface. So really heed what Priya is saying, because it is very true. I can attest to it, not only from my own research and the science, but from my own experience as well. So really good tips, Priya. And a tip from me, from a hypnotic standpoint and from a neuro-linguistic programming, I know there's a lot of NLP fans in the group. You have an opportunity now to anchor this state. I think everybody really enjoyed this feeling, this hypnotic process tonight, based on the comments that we're getting, obviously. And what I mean by anchor is you can create a trigger to do in the future so that you can re-access a similar state. And now I'll tell you, whatever seat you're sitting in and the posture you were sitting in when we went through this process is now associated to that hypnotic state. Okay. So in the future, if you want to return to this, this feeling, this state of relaxation and calm, most likely you're not going to have Priya and I personally guiding you all the time, although we are going to do more of these. If you return to the state, if you return to the seat that you're in, have the lighting the same, set your posture the same way it was, and just remember, access the memory of what we did here tonight, you'll find yourself returning to that relaxed state. You really will. You really will. And the audible trigger that we installed during the process was that finger snap. So if you do all that, add in the finger snap, you're going to find yourself transported back here, which can be a really handy tool to have, right? In the same way, your bed is associated with sleep, your kitchen is associated with food. You can set a place in your home that's associated with relief, with relaxation, with calm, with sanctuary. And I encourage you to do that. Priya?
Ryan, we have a question, which I just want to piggyback off what you said. It says, how long does this last, or do we keep practicing the hypnosis?
Wow, good question.
So as Ryan is answering that, I'll give you my answer quickly, and then we'll see what Ryan has to say. The suggestions are going to get stronger by stronger, minute by minute, day by day. So everything Ryan and I just did is already inputted in your unconscious mind. And we put in the suggestion that'll get stronger by stronger, hour by hour, day by day. And so that will happen. So it's not a question of how long does this last. It's a question of how often are you willing to go back and access this beautiful space within your body and your mind. That'd be my answer to that. Ryan.
I agree. And yes, very true, Priya. And remember what I talked about at the beginning of the online retreat tonight. You have free will, and your free will extends more so maybe inwardly than it does outwardly. We have tons of free will and freedom outwardly, but inwardly you have exclusive free will to choose the path, to choose the feelings. So remember what I said about rumination and about choosing to think about what you want to think about and the law of association. So yes, if you want this feeling, this calm, this relief to stay, absolutely, it's yours to hold on to. And one of the great things and one of the responsibilities of being human is that you have to actually make that choice. Avoid choosing to focus on things that are going to derail you from how you truly want to feel. Because we're all in a trance all the time. It's not just when you're doing hypnosis. We're all in some form of trance or another, day to day, night to night. So I encourage you to choose the happy trance, choose the calm trance, choose the hope trance over some of those other trances that people are finding themselves in these days. Choose joy. Great question.
And bring that kid to the front of the classroom, right? If that analogy works better for you, then remember that you can anchor this experience that you just had as the kid filled with peace, right? So if you want to bring the peace kid or the joy-filled kid, and this is what it feels like to you to be so comfortable and relaxed and peaceful, then say, this is the kid that I want back in front of the classroom, and it will happen. We are stronger than our mind. Our mind does not control us. We control our mind.
That's right. Any other questions? Put a QQQ in the chat box if you have a question for us. I love the classroom analogy. Thank you for both. Thank you both for this. Thanks, Colleen.
Rocky is asking, when will you do another session? So Ryan and I at this point are attempting to do one every 2 weeks. So every other Sunday. So we did one 2 Sundays ago. We did one today, and you'll probably do one 2 Sundays from now. And anyone that was on this call or signed up for this call, you'll get information about that. And you know what Ryan and I also want to do is we're open to your suggestions, right? And so if you get a thought where you're like, I really wish there was a hypnosis around this, or I want to experience this feeling, we would love your feedback. We want to make this as valuable to each of you as we can. And so perhaps we were thinking the next one might be around sleep and how to get more restful sleep. But however, we are open to all of your suggestions, and we would absolutely love to get them. And there will be a recording. Yes, we're getting asked if there will be a recording. There will absolutely get a recording. And we're so excited that you did this. And please spread the word, because hypnosis sometimes gets a bad rap, right? People are like, oh, it's hypnosis. It's not cool. It's quack science. As all of you just experienced, it was very real and very powerful. And it is absolutely life-changing. And it takes minutes versus years of healing. And that is, there's real truth to that statement, real science behind that statement.
Yeah, I agree, Priya, with everything you just said. And to address, are we going to do it?
Just always agree with me.
I think we're on the same page. Yeah. So the person who asked, are we going to do more of this? Yes, Priya and I are going to continue to do these, particularly as long as we continue to get overwhelmingly positive turnouts and response during the webinars, which we absolutely have tonight. We had over 100 people register for this. We had about 70 show up tonight, which is normal because the people who couldn't make it, they know they're going to get the recording, so they're going to watch later. And you'll all get the recording as well. And for those of you who want more, I know Priya's doing some stuff in her Facebook group, free giveaways and free resources. I'm going to be doing that as well. So I have a Facebook group. It's a private group, and all of you now that you've attended this are welcome to join. It's a free thing where I share resources, and I'm going to be doing some continuing to do hypnotic work in there, doing audio recordings, doing live hypnosis, maybe not a full 90-minute thing like I do here with Priya, but maybe a 15 or 20-minute recording that I'll give away in MP3 format that you can listen to at your convenience. So if you're interested, if you like my voice, you like my style, you like Priya's voice, you like her style, get in her free Facebook group, get in my free Facebook group. I'll put the link in the chat here, and then we'll email them out as well.
Wow. And Liz is asking, if we were to watch the recording, will we be brought back to that place? Absolutely, without question. This is always accessible to you. And not only will you be brought back to that place, there is the potential that you go even deeper in what you release, because your unconscious mind is now even safer in the process of what you already heard. So I would absolutely recommend that you listen to it again if it resonates with you, and allow yourself now in the comfort of your own home to relax even deeper, deeper, deeper down. Because in the depths of that, the healing is incredible and magnificent. So join the Facebook group. And I also want to tell you guys before we get off that I'm also offering a free 30-minute session with me for anybody who wants. It's called From Panic to Peace, The Shelter Within, where I want to give you recommendations about what's going on in your particular life. And then at the end of that session, I want to tell you about how I work with people one-on-one. And if it feels right, we can talk about that. But it's not a sales pitch. It's a real opportunity for us to get to know each other. And then, of course, at the end, if there's an opportunity for us to work together one-on-one, I'll let you know about that. But that is I'll send that link out. So that is available. There's a Facebook group. And then there's also, I work with clients just straight hypnosis sessions, 3 sessions at a very discounted rate. We work together for 60 minutes for 3 weeks straight. So if you're interested in your personalized hypnosis session with suggestions directly for your own struggles, please reach out to myself. And all of that will be sent in an email to you. But our goal is to always keep these retreats that we're doing every other Sunday free. We're not asking for any sort of contribution other than potentially passing the word on to other people that would benefit now that you've experienced it. I'm just stoked that all of you are here and experienced hypnosis.
Yeah. If there's no other questions, or nobody has requests for topics for future retreats, we got about another 10 minutes. Would anybody like to revisit that hypnotic trance for a little bit? Would anybody like to? I see one thumbs. Maybe give me a little wave. I'm looking at the gallery view. If you want to just dip back in, maybe not quite to the length we did previously. Okay, I'm seeing yeses, Priya, so I'm going to go ahead and...
Yeah, let's dip back in.
What's that?
If you have to jump off, but if you want to stay and do 10 more minutes,
We'll do a quick one. It'll be a little less than 10 minutes.
yeah, get you into a deep sleep perhaps.
Yeah.
Later this evening.
Yeah. Okay. So
Thank
if
you
you're
all for joining, those of us that are jumping off. Thank you so much. We're grateful for you, and we can't wait to see you again in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're going to give you our gratitude now, because we'll do a little bit of a hypnotic wind down and then send you guys off so you can hold on to that really relaxed state.
Yeah, and so what that means is you won't hear Ryan and I sign off. We'll just quietly disappear. Your Zoom will remain on, and when your unconscious mind asks you to wake up is when you'll wake up.
Yeah. Does that sound good to everybody? Yeah? Mass nodding heads? Perfect. Get ready for bed? Yeah, good. So go ahead and relax, and just allow yourself to breathe into your body. Get into that comfortable position, whatever that is for you. Okay? And take a deep breath in. And as that breath comes out, if they haven't yet, go ahead and close your eyes. Find those eyes feeling so relaxed, and noticing those tiny muscles all around the eyes, just totally relaxing now. And that relaxation from those eyes spreading to the rest of your face, your cheeks, your scalp just relaxing. And I think you might notice that there's one part of your body that feels so comfortable. There's one part that just feels so comfortable. Yeah, that part. And I don't know if you were expecting that part to be so comfortable or not, or whether you're expecting it to spread as it is now to the rest of your body. That total relaxation just coming totally over you. And noticing now just maybe that unusual but pleasant feeling. That unusual but pleasant feeling. Where is that unusual but pleasant feeling? Somewhere in your body, only you know. And as quickly as you notice it, just allowing it to either spread or drift away, it doesn't matter. Because right now, nobody wants anything. Nobody needs anything. You can be totally relaxed, like a handful of rubber bands tossed gently on the sofa, just relaxed, just loose. I don't know if you'll notice the sounds outside the room, the beating of your heart. I don't know if you'll notice that with each word I say, each breath you take, you go deeper and deeper down. Because I wonder what it's like to find this new feeling, to find this new depth, and to hold on to it until it just totally becomes a part of you. Because we know that can happen. We know we have control. We know we can choose where our attention goes, where our energy flows. We know that. And I'll count down from 5 to 1. And with each number down, you'll find yourself feeling more and more relaxed. And you have this opportunity now to hold on to this feeling and really remember the feeling as you drift out of your body and across the room. And you can see yourself sitting there, wherever that is for you. And you can see yourself sitting there and remembering earlier tonight when we all went together into that deep, deep, deep down place of total relaxation, where anything is possible, where you discovered that field of infinite possibility, where you can be anything, you can do anything, you can feel only what you choose to feel, only what best serves you now. And I wouldn't suggest to you that it's so easy to come back here when you sit in that special chair and you feel the way you feel now, and you notice the beating of the heart, the feeling of that breath, the feeling of the seat beneath you, It doesn't matter where your hands are positioned or your foot or what you were wearing or any of that. All that matters, that's right. All that matters is here and now, and knowing that everything is going to be wonderful. Now you can stay in this spot as long as you want. Priya and I are going to fade away. And I want to encourage you to just allow your unconscious mind to absorb all this new neurology, to take what you love and to leave the rest, and hold on to it for as long as you want. And in your own time, your own mind will let you know, in your own time, you can return to the waking state, feeling alert yet calm, feeling awake yet relaxed, feeling totally prepared to face all that is before you. And I'm wishing you a very, very, very wonderful night and week until we speak again.